So I will discuss a number of components that I think is important for the development of the future transportation. And the components are business cases. And another component is what is much discussed today is our electric future. And then I will go on with drivers that are important for the future. And then energy supply. And the last point is what I think is most reasonable, that is the development with many small steps. The business cases are first the car, that is a tremendous successful business case. A business case is where companies can make money and the consumers are willing to pay for the product without subsidies. And people are willing to pay much more than the basic cost for transportation for a car. So it is a tremendous strong business case. And so is also the case for the truck. You can see the truck transportation increase every year without any subsidies. And that's because it is the lowest, it gives in many cases the lowest transportation cost in a dominant number of cases. And the environmental friendly train transportation has to struggle against often more attractive alternatives, but it is still a business case. And the shipping has been a business case for centuries, and it's driving the global economy. And it's the most economic way of transportation, and so will it be. And air transport is also the future choice for high value goods. When the value of the time for the transport is very high, then it is the best choice. So all these are business cases that I don't anticipate to change within a 20-year period at least. And there are much speak about our electric future, electric transportation. And one thinks of the car foremost, because trucking is not possible because of the weight of the battery, and for ships and airplanes there are even more remote possibilities. But for the car there would be an option. But if you look at some details here, the fuel cost for a small car, if you run it the normal distance, 15,000 kilometers per year, is 10,000 Swedish crowns per year. And added cost for a battery is around 100,000 Swedish crowns. So there is no way of gaining of any economic gain by having an electric car. And there also an extra burden of charging the electric car. You must keep in mind, if you do some extra kilometers, you must plan for the next charging. And the possibility of fast charging is unthinkable because of the big currents involved. If you should have a rational charging time, it should be 2 minutes, and then it's thousands of amperes needed, and that's unrealistic. So industrialists, responsible industrialists who has to plan their companies for the future, they believe there will be just a very small percentage of electric cars within 10 and 20 years' time. So I think the impact on the environment will be almost negligible within this time period. But there is an important consideration. That's fuel cost divided by battery cost. That might change in the future, because fuel cost is very hard to make forecast what it will be for certain years. But my belief is that it will not have any impact on the environment. And why should we look at the electrical car in the first place? Local emissions is one issue, and CO2 is another issue. but the regulations have been strengthened on the local emissions. For instance, NOx and particulates. So it has been lowered by 97%. So in my feeling is that it is driven so low that it is no longer a practical problem. If people could live with these previous levels without imminent problems, I think this is not an issue. So the issue is the CO2, which is of course very important. Hybrids, hybrid car, which often get subsidiaries, but they are just an electric transmission where mechanical solutions can do the same job if you look at the transportation value. But electric has a higher value for many people. And hydrogen, just previous to electric car interest, hydrogen was the big interest. But this is just an extra expensive way of using electricity. But there is an electric business case. The Tesla sport car is a very successful electric car regarding business. But it is only for rich people. It costs 1 million crowns. And it is no longer a transportation mean. It is type of a boy's toy.